What's up, tubers? Welcome back to the channel. Say a quick tip on how I do something. A while back, I put a poll up on the channel asking what would you like to see more of, uh, unboxings, build videos, or tips and tricks. Nobody said build videos. Too bad. I'm still going to do them. The larger percentage of people, the 25 people that answered the poll out of 700 viewers, hint, hint, uh, said you'd like to see more tips and tricks. So I don't consider myself an expert at all. I don't know it all, and I'm always learning. Always got to remain teachable, as it were. And I'll share whatever I do learn. Things that I have learned over the years from being a high-end house painter. I've said it many times on this channel. I worked professionally as a high-end house painter, and I use that term because a large portion of the houses that I worked on were like castles, literally a castle, or houses that appeared on the cover of Architectural Digest, mansions, your $1 million paint budgets. So I learned about perfection and getting things right. And one of the master craftsmen that I worked for, a master painter, told me a long time ago, as I'm sure you've heard, paint is largely preparation. The idea being you want your preparation base coat, primer coat to look just as good as the finish coat, ideally. So that being said, I do take some time to go through some of the stuff. Like I'll put a line over mold lines so that I can see it. It's an old bodywork trick where you can like something to sand to. It's called a guide coat. And then I'll cut that down with something coarse, like the sanding file, sanding sticks, or a 600 grit, just to kind of get it smooth, get the black Sharpie line to go away. And then I'll come back, and kind of feather that off a little bit again with the 600. And then I'll go into scribing panel lines. This is a dangerous one. It's easy to slip and scratch the body, which I have done. But once you finish with that, kind of clean it out a little bit, and then come back and kind of clean it a little bit with your filing stick and or your the edge of your 600. And then so once that's done, I'll go back and feather everything with a 1500. Once I'm happy with that, I'll go back and hit all of it with a 2000, lightly touching. They never really leaning into it. You don't want to press too hard because you can scratch with the sandpaper. And then I'll put the primer down. I love this Tamiya Fine surface primer. It's amazing stuff. And then once that goes on, once it dries, I'll go back again and hit it lightly with the 2000. And I mean lightly. I mean, I'm barely even touching it. It's just sort of, you're like wiping it, really. The only thing you want to do is you're just sort of you're scratching it enough so that there's a mechanical bond, so the paint has something to bite to when it lays down. But again, getting back to the prep, 90% prep, you want your finish, you want your primer coat ideally to look just as good as a finish coat, because little stuff will show. Like that little imperfection right there. Come on, focus. I don't know if you'll see it or not. The little panel line where I slipped and it scratched, and, I'm not going to worry about it. But like the one on the roof there's a tiny little cut there. That's going to show. The paint will not fill that enough so that it'll flow out. So we're going to go ahead and I've got it all sanded. I went and, like I said, just sort of lightly, basically just wiping it with a sponge. I'm not leaning into it and sanding. And then I'll go back and wipe the entire thing down. Yeah, I'm using my oily hands right here, but ideally you want a tack cloth, like a lint-free cloth. Most tack cloths, basically all it really is a lint-free cloth with alcohol or a thinner in it. pretty basic. It's just something to stick and then evaporate. So once you've done that, get it all cleaned, you can put it on your wherever you hold it and lay down your finish. There you go. Tips and tricks. Thanks for watching.